What's up and welcome back to the Run the North podcast. I don't know how this intro goes. I don't know how any of this goes. The guy who's supposed to handle everything isn't here. Jake is busy with something I don't remember. So, my bad, Jake. But
he's being a church camp man.
That's right. Camp counselor Jake. Love to see it.
Affecting all the kids' minds with Drew Lock and Dorian Thompson Robinson.
I didn't think about that.
Who I finally watched, by the way.
DTR? What do you think of DTR?
Not good.
Oh, dude. You don't get to sit there and praise Jaren Hall and then say DTR is not good.
Jaren Hall is a more technically refined passer than DTR is.
Both of their mechanics suck.
But DTRs are worse by a lot.
Basically, Stroud and Young have decent mechanics. After that, it's off a cliff for everybody. Nobody has good mechanics, not one.
I disagree. I think Stroud and Young have good mechanics, and then you drop down and you get to like Hooker and Hall, who have okay mechanics.
Okay.
And Levis.
So I want to speak on Hendon Hooker real quick about his mechanics.
Oh no.
If I see the Stay Hot guys talking like they watched his film again, but just making shit up, I'm going to freak out. You ever see Hendon Hooker in the pocket? You're wrong. He just stands completely still. That is false. He's not even up on his toes like he's supposed to be.
From the truth.
Okay, so the thing is, they're saying he stands flat-footed in the pocket. That is not true. There's not a single play where he does that.
I think they're being a little facetious with that. I think they're just trying to be dramatic because of how...
But when you have that big of a platform, you cannot just make shit up or make things worse just because you want to.
Fair.
We can't be doing that. We can't be.
Fair enough.
Because now I'm seeing people say Hendon Hooker's not worth taking in the first 6 rounds.
That's
He's
too
quarterback
far.
5, and it's not close.
I disagree.
I know you have a hard-on for Hall. It's okay.
I have them both graded in the 3rd round, so it's not like... And I have them on my big board, one after the other, so...
I know they're not going to be one after another.
Hooker's fine.
I have a round 3 grade on Hall and a round 2 grade on Hooker.
That's fair.
But also, I don't know, I feel like neither of them are safe picks because neither of them played in a real system.
No,
that wasn't a real
offense. After the top 4 quarterbacks, none of them are safe, if you ever want to consider a draft prospect safe, or a quarterback prospect, rather, safe.
Nah, Stetson Bennett's safe. He's just a winner.
He's something, all right.
He wins. So you watched 12 quarterbacks, right?
Is
that what you said on Twitter? What did I say
I had last night? I think you said past 12.
Jesus.
Let me double check.
There are only 10 dudes worth taking in this draft. Why did you watch an extra 4?
If that.
Yeah, counting... I watched 12. Never mind. I have 12.
Where's my tweet? I think I watched 15 quarterbacks. That's right.
Okay. So I have Young, Stroud, Richardson, Levis, Hooker, Hall, DTR, Dugan, McKee, Cunningham, O'Connell, and Bennett. Who else did you watch?
This is what I've got. I've got 1 to 15, Young, Richardson, Stroud, Levis, Hall, Hooker, McKee, Duggan, Bennett, Toon, Clifford, DTR, Cunningham, O'Connell, and Tanner Morgan.
Okay, who the fuck is Clifford?
Penn State kid, Sean Clifford.
Oh, the guy Levis couldn't beat out. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, my new question with that, since people want to keep bringing that up, Levis couldn't even beat out fucking Sean Clifford. Why don't we have Clifford higher on our draft boards than Levis? If we're really going to try to argue that he's better. Well, not you. I'm not saying you, but if we're out here trying to argue that he's better.
Where's he at? God damn it! I must have him further in. Yeah, there he is. Yeah, no, I mean Clifford he's a college quarterback. That's all it is. Like he was good in college, but it's not going to translate to the next level. He's one of those guys that like doesn't have a great arm, but in terms of being a pocket passer, he's good enough to operate a college level offense. And I think maybe that's why they favored him at Penn State, because obviously we've seen Levis have some wacky instances. And
Yeah.
Clifford's safe. Clifford's not going to have those wacky instances, but we're also not going to see Clifford uncork a 50, 60-yard bomb downfield to a wide receiver creating 2 yards of separation. And we're also not going to see like the crazy zip that some of Levis's passes have. So it's like, if you want to be a winning football program, you start a guy like Sean Clifford. If you want to be a football program that has potential to like really take the top off of defense, and
If you want to
maybe
be a fun program, you start Levis. If you want to,
right,
I wouldn't say a winning program because Penn State's still Penn
right.
State. But
If you want to be a safe program,
yeah,
is the better way to put it.
That sounds very Penn State to me.
I was gonna say it's Penn fucking State.
Outside of that one time when they had the goat, but
Trace McSorley,
yeah,
yes
he's
sir.
the goat.
Mm-hmm.
Is he on a team yet? I don't think.
I think he's still in Arizona. I don't think. Did his contract go up?
I think so.
Oh, my heart is broken.
Trace McSorley. Oh no, he is still on the Cardinals apparently.
Yeah.
Okay,
Plus, Sean Clifford's old. I forgot that he's like 25.
That seems to be the thing.
Yeah.
Man, if the Cardinals aren't gonna do something different at quarterback, I say they cut Colt McCoy and David Blau and just rock Trace McSorley.
Okay,
I want
really
a full
season
say, of Trace. I want a full season.
I thought you were going to say cut Trace McSorley and throw in Malik Cunningham, and I was going to be angry beyond belief.
I still stand by they should either like sign Cam or draft somebody who can run an offense similar to I guess Trace can actually. Trace can run Kyler's offense. That's my point.
Definitely
you cannot start Blau or Colt McCoy. You cannot.
I don't think they have any intention of starting Blau.
I mean,
they might get investigated for tampering if they do that.
They benched McSorley and put in Blau. That was a thing.
Well, different for like a half a game or 3/4 of a game. I'm talking long-term, multiple.
2 games. He started for them multiple games last year.
Well, shit.
Over McSorley and Colt McCoy.
Yeah, investigate Arizona for tampering.
You mean tanking? Tampering something entirely different.
They're tampering with their roster and they're tanking.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hit them with a double whammy just because they started David Blau. Find a way to call it tampering and tanking. That's how bad David Blau is.
Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to go look at my membership posts because I wanted to see who I had on my big board. Because I know you don't know who my top 5 were. But I know you'd be happy because I know you aren't paying the $1 to be there, be able to read.
Oh my God, Jared Hall's top 5 on your big board, and Hunter Lepke.
Hunter Lepke is actually not even kidding.
Dude, I'm so pissed.
Top 5 prospects, real quick.
Go ahead. I'll tell you after.
Jalen Carter.
Okay.
Bijan Robinson.
Okay.
Hunter Lepke, Tyree Wilson, Christian Gonzalez. Those are my top 5 players in the class.
I like that.
Brian Branch and Nolan Smith are right fucking there, but...
Oh, Nolan Smith that high? I like that.
I love Nolan Smith, dude.
I like Nolan Smith a lot too, but I don't quite have him that high on my big board.
You don't have to. This is my board.
Yeah, so... I'm so mad because I was looking at Caddy's cut-ups last night, trying to figure out who the next player I'm going to watch is, and I was scouring for Hunter Lepke. I looked at running backs, I looked at tight ends, I looked at last year's running backs, I looked at running backs in 2021, I looked at last year's tight ends in 2021. I was looking everywhere. And then there's another like subsection in the thing where it shows like all the players that should be listed. And I saw Hunter Lepke, and he had one game. It was just an Arizona game, but like that's all I need. That is literally all I need to have clips, to push an agenda, to push a narrative, because I know what Lepke is. I know what he brings to the table. I just want to confirm it. right? I just want to be able to like say 100% these are examples of why he can do this, this, and this at a high level. And that's why I haven't talked about him as much on TikTok. That's why I haven't put out my Substack on him, anything like that. Eventually, I'm just going to have to cave and say fuck it, and I'll just use highlights off of YouTube or something like that. Because if I'm not going to get fullback film, I just got to make do because I'm going to talk about Lepke.
You know, you can
But
message Caddy's cut-ups and request film.
I have requested Lepke 4 times. And with no luck.
I'm going to message him and be like, Hunter Lepke film or else sue.
I mean, I have literally, like, I've made it easy, too, because he has, like, the option where you can put, like, what games you want. And every single time I've requested, I've put, I don't care. Just give me the film. Word for word. Just, I don't care what games. Give me the
Maybe
film.
that's
It is
why.
fine. I'll take whatever. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I've been able to piece together little bits from like watching North Dakota State's offensive line and
Right.
things like that, but it's not enough. It's not what I need.
You know what I need? Bijan Robinson, Hunter Lepke, and I had another player in mind, but I need those two on the same team. That's what I want to see.
Would go crazy.
I want to see that.
Would go mental. Yeah.
Or
But while we're
have the Charger. Oh no, they have a fullback.
they wouldn't draft him. Yeah, they love Xander.
And the
Philly,
the Eagles
Philly
don't
doesn't
run
use
a
a fullback, but I think Hunter Lepke's a guy you know they talk about guys that transcend scheme. Unironically, I think Lepke is one.
The issue is it's not about transcending scheme. It's the fact that it would be a Derek Watt situation. He would be stuck on only special teams, and it would
Not
be
sure
the
you can
worst
play him
thing
at
in the
tight
world.
end. He can be your tight end too.
That would be worse.
I don't think it would be. He's seeing the field.
The fullback man who doesn't want to see fullbacks at tight end just said he wants to see the best fullback prospect he's ever seen play tight end. What a loser.
Line up at tight end. He'd still be designated as a fullback, but if you have to take snaps at tight end to get yourself on the field,
You know the Eagles are
accept that.
designating him as a tight end. You know that.
I know they probably would.
Oh, poor guy.
Anyways,
That would go hard.
Lepke, yeah, I'll figure out a way to talk about Lepke here very, very soon. But since we're talking about big boards, I'll give you my top 5, and I'm going to tell you right now, it doesn't have Lepke on it because I haven't watched him. Unironically, he will go at number 1. Yeah,
And
probably true.
I'm not putting him at 1. I think Carter and Bijan.
I disagree. I think Hunter Lepke is a legitimate, like, perfect 10 out of 10 blue chip prospect. Like,
there's no such thing as a 10 out of 10 prospect.
I disagree. I think Lepke is that.
That's everyone
Biased, I'm aware,
everyone
okay.
who's ever been called a 10 out of 10 prospect fails. They aren't good.
Well, how many fullbacks have you ever heard called a 10 out of a 10 prospect?
None, because fullbacks aren't real prospects according to people.
Oh, okay. According to people. We don't like people.
That's valid.
Anyways.
There's a reason I
Top
don't leave
5
this spot.
Top 5, not including Lepke. I have Carter, Robinson, Wilson, Young, and Anderson. That's my top 5.
Ooh,
With
you have Will
Richardson.
Anderson still up there. That's interesting.
Yeah, I was thinking about it the other night because initially it was Anthony Richardson at 5. And I was thinking, and I was like, I think Anderson is, I don't want to say too raw, but not refined enough to be a top 5 prospect. I feel like that's something that's got to be, you got to be almost perfect to be a top 5 prospect. And Will Anderson, obviously, he has his massive red flag that I will preach is a bigger issue than people want to make it out to be till the cows come home. But, at the end of the day, he's great everywhere else.
I don't know. His lack of a bag is a problem. He doesn't have moves.
Yeah.
Like, part of me wants to argue, because I already have Will Anderson as my edge 3 in this class. Part of me wants to argue Kayvon Thibodeau is a better prospect. I really think so.
You know what? You're right. I'm making this adjustment now.
So
Christian Gonzalez, you are a top 5 prospect.
The GOAT.
I don't, now that I'm thinking about it, I literally just tweeted like an hour ago. Christian Gonzalez is closer to being a blue chip prospect than Will Anderson is, yet somehow he was lower on my draft board.
Yeah, you're a
I
weirdo.
think that was
Here
I
we
think
go.
that was an adjustment I meant to make, just forgot to.
Maybe. So after the top 5, where it was closed out by Christian Gonzalez, the rest of the top 10, Brian Branch at 6, Nolan Smith at 7, Anderson at 8, Anton Harrison at 9, Osiris Torrance at 10. Miller's going to yell at me because I don't have Bryce Young as a top 10 prospect.
You're weird and you think size matters.
It does. We've seen one short quarterback actually work.
Look at this guy. Hater behavior.
No, he's my number 11 prospect, actually.
Hater behavior.
So here's the thing, though. It does matter. The ability to not be able to throw over the middle of the field fucking matters. 33.33 repeating percent of the field unusable with Bryce Young at QB. And thinking of the team that everybody expects to take him right now, the Texans, every receiver they have is only good at going over the middle. That will be the worst offense in football with Bryce Young. Promise.
Yeah.
Promise.
You make a good point on that one. That's for sure.
Like, you need a team. You know what team would be best with Young? It won't happen, but the Dolphins.
I really thought you were going to say Minnesota, and I was going to reach through the screen and smack
the only the only deep-ish threat guy they have is really JJ. And even he is better over the middle. Hawkinson, better over the middle. KJ, better over the middle. The Vikings are built to go over the middle. JJ's just good enough he can play outside too, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Right.
I guess unless you're Jair Alexander that one time. But I'm still calling that a fluke.
You mean the Equanimous St. Brown's son?
Yes. I'm still calling that a fluke, though.
Yeah.
Because it was prime time Cuzzo. It doesn't count.
Right. Okay, so my updated top 5 without Lepke again is Carter, Robinson, Wilson, Young, Gonzalez. It's top 5.
It. Go the rest of the way, top 10.
6 through 10, right. Stroud, Branch, Anderson, Richardson, Skoronski.
Okay, so I have to ask.
Mm-hmm.
Does your big board take positional value into account at all?
No.
You really think 3 of the quarterbacks are top 10 prospects in this class?
I think Stroud and Young most certainly are. And I think Richardson, there's an argument to have him lower. But for me, the physical tools are too much to not have him in the top 10. I mean, literally, this is the most impressive physical specimen we've ever seen at the quarterback position.
That's true.
And I think that's worthy of being one of the 10 best prospects in the class.
So I just to point these two guys out, I have Stroud I have Young at 11, Stroud at 18, Richardson at 21.
Okay.
But again, not taking into account positional value at all. So John Michael Schmitz is at 13. So
maybe I am taking it into account like subconsciously, because I consciously I'm trying to avoid it, but I think at a certain point quarterbacks, it's like they're always going to get that extra boost.
That's fair.
So maybe I do have to reevaluate that.
All of this is based off of, I rate them at their position based off physical skills, their physical traits, their skill, whatever. All of that, rank them out of 10, and then that rating is how I positioned them. So Stroud's a 7.8 out of 10, so he's at 18. Young is an 8.5, so he's at 11. Like,
I may have to go through and actually give players ratings, because that's not something I've done, which is probably an error on my part. I would say I'm not going to say, actually not a lot. I am definitely more confident in my like rankings within the positions, because that is like 100% absolutely. This guy better than this guy better than blah
Yep.
blah blah.
Yeah.
But I guess without having grades, there's I guess a
makes a
bit
big
more
board
room or
tough.
less room for error. Yeah. So maybe I'll have to go back and do that. But as of right now,
Yeah.
I'm surprised you're not saying anything about Skaronski, because I feel like nowadays that's going to be a controversial pick, because I think everybody's soured on Skaronski
See,
for some reason.
I don't like Skaronski. I see why people do though. Like, I'm not out on him.
Fair.
I just meh.
Yeah, and I was gonna say I know your thoughts on him, talking about people projecting him to play inside. We haven't seen him do that, but we have seen a guy like Paris Johnson do that,
Yep.
and he was good at it. So like, I get why you wouldn't be high on Skaronski, but me personally, it's all there.
Oh yeah.
To play guard, like I
I
have him
think he's still
evaluated
good.
as an
I just don't
interior
like
lineman.
him. I just
Yeah.
I like the other guys better. Though I do want to argue with you about what the fuck is the Tennessee Darnell Wright?
Oh no! Don't yell at me about Darnell.
I have to. You think he's
I know
tackle
Anton
one?
Harrison. Yes, and I stand by that.
He has the easiest job of all of the tackles because of the way Hendon Hooker operates. The little two-step drop where going around the outside of Darnell Wright won't work because there's no quarterback back there. Wright can just let you go. You'll never get to anybody because of how shallow Hooker drops. He has the easiest job of any tackle. Give any of the other tackles that job, and they do just as well, probably better. That's my issue. I just saw that while watching Hooker. I was like, dude, he doesn't drop. He just like step. I'm good.
I mean, yeah, and I don't disagree that his job isn't necessarily the hardest in the world, but I think when you look at the traits he possesses, his strength for the most part, like he is probably the strongest tackle in this class. I am blown away by his upper body strength and how he's able to use his arms and how he's able to use his hands. His anchor is really nice in the run game. And his like there's just not a lot of weaknesses to him, and he's the type of guy that I can see being like I'm not going to say cornerstone, because you don't consider a right tackle a cornerstone, but like a solid building block at right tackle for like a decade plus.
I don't know.
And I think
the Dolphins would consider their right tackle cornerstone.
Well, okay, but
because
I'm
their
saying
offensive line is reversed.
right. But for every team that uses a right-handed quarterback, traditional football teams, you're not looking at a right tackle and thinking that's your cornerstone. But I can see this dude having like a Ryan Ramczyk type career. I'm not going to quite say Lane Johnson, because I don't think he's going to be like, I don't allow a sack in 12 years. But
I was going to say
Ryan
Lane Johnson
Ramczyk
is the only cornerstone right tackle ever.
Right.
And that dude's nuts.
Yeah. But a guy like Ryan Ramczyk, or maybe even like Tristan Wirfs, that type of career. Brian O'Neill too.
Had to
Absolutely.
shout out my boy, because everybody forgets that he exists.
And I mean, you're right. He is one of the best right tackles in football. I can absolutely see him having that type of career, and like his floor is being like an average starting caliber right tackle for a long time. Like the big thing with Darnell Wright is I don't see him busting. I don't see him sucking and being out of the league or being demoted to like a swing tackle. I think out of all of the tackles other than Anton Harrison, he has the highest floor, but I do think he has a higher ceiling than Harrison, in my opinion. I think the strength, and I'm not going to say he's a super athlete, but like relative to his size, because this is a massive fucking dude, he can move. He can get out. If you're going to run a zone running scheme where you're going to ask him to move in open space, he's capable of doing it. He's got enough to do that. So I think that's kind of what separates him and Harrison for me, is the fact that he has a higher ceiling. And then from the rest of the tackle prospects, it's that higher floor.
So I have Wright as my tackle 5. And then DeJuan Jones is my tackle 6. To be fair, that is still counting Skaronski as a tackle.
Right.
Which, meh. So Harrison's my number 1, obviously.
Right.
Paris Johnson is my 2. I really like Paris Johnson. I wasn't expecting to, but I do. He's great. Skaronski's
that boy
at 3. Broderick Jones is at 4. That's the other guy.
See, I like Broderick Jones, but I don't think I'm quite as high on him as other people seem to be. I still think he's a first-round talent, but he's my tackle 4.
But Broderick, Darnell Wright, and DeJuan Jones are all within like 0.5 points on my grading scale of each other. They're all right there.
That's how I am with Wright, Johnson, and Harrison. Like, obviously, I don't have like the point total, but like they're right there. You know, there's a little bit of separation between them on my draft board, but in terms of like actual talent where I would rank them among tackles, it's literally like that much separation. There's not a lot. Like you look at Paris Johnson Jr., his ceiling I would say is the highest in the class out of the tackles, not considering not considering Skoronski a tackle. Right. And then Harrison, like I said, probably has maybe the highest floor, if not right there with Wright. Yeah. I just don't think he quite has the upside that Wright or Johnson do. And then Broderick Jones, I think, is kind of like in the middle of their ceilings and their floors. Like, I don't see him busting out of the league either, but I also don't see him being a superstar at tackle. And then with DeJuan Jones, there's absolutely a world where he's out of the league pretty quickly.
Oh, absolutely. There's also... He's the biggest swing. He's the Anthony Richardson of the lineman class.
Yeah,
because he could be the best lineman in this class by a mile.
Oh, yeah.
And be a top 5 lineman in the league, or he's out in 2 years. I mean, to be fair, every draft prospect that is an option. That's how the NFL goes. None of these guys are a guarantee. As much as we like to talk about Bijan Robinson is a guarantee. For him, though, I think it's injuries. That would be the only thing.
Right. It would be the Saquon route.
Yeah. Whereas, like, for a guy, even like Tyree Wilson, who I think is a generational guy, there's a world where he just sucks. There really is.
You think Tyree Wilson's generational?
I said he, could be. I haven't figured it out. Tyree Wilson confuses me. I've watched an hour worth of tape on him, and I'm still just like... Is he the best edge rusher in this class or not?
I mean,
don't know.
You know me.
Well,
he's my boy.
Fair.
But I think generational's pushing a little bit.
Fair. I don't know. When you're the number 4 prospect in a class, it's close. And I don't know. If we're calling Will Anderson generational, Nolan Smith and Tyree Wilson are, because they're better.
Right.
So at least they were better in college. And I guess it depends, because they could always end up somewhere where it sucks.
Yeah.
But
yeah, with DeJuan Jones, I think even though he would be my tackle 5, I guess it would be without Skoronski, because he would be my tackle 5. I still have a first-round grade on him. Like, late first, early second is where I have him.
Technically, I think he's so I only have first-round grades on technically 22 guys.
I have a solidified first-round grade on 21, and then I have 8 with a late first, early second.
Yeah, I'm close to the same. I think I have 11 with a early second, late first, and that includes one of your boys, which is tough. 2 of your boys, actually.
Which one? Which ones?
Van Ness and Jack Campbell.
I have Jack Campbell late first, early second, but Van Ness is in my top 16.
No. But I'm also a weirdo, because I still think Michael Mayer is a top 16.
I haven't watched any of the tight ends.
But it's because I actually watch tight ends play the position of tight end, not wide receiver.
Right.
I don't care that Kincaid is a better receiver. Mayer
and I mean, block. That's how I am too. I'll probably end up with Mayer as my tight end 1 from what I've heard. Basically, I've heard he's projected to have like Kittle. A Jason Witten career. That's what I've heard.
Interesting.
Where like the idea of being like good or not good, but like great but not elite. You're pretty
fair.
Consistent. He's a catch or 2 a game.
Ooh, I don't know. I was gonna say like. To be fair, Hawkinson became wide receiver 2 on our team, but I was going to say, like, Mayer to me feels almost like a Hawkinson. Going to be great in the run game if you needed him to. Could be a good receiving threat. You'd prefer not to have to use him as your number 2, just like the Vikings with Hawkinson. You'd prefer another big weapon. But if you don't get one, Hawk will work. I feel that way about Mayer.
So we each did our top 10 on our big boards, right? Did you do 11 through 15?
I haven't yet. You
Okay,
hit me with yours?
Who do you have?
Or
okay, I'll go first then.
Yeah, whatever. You go.
Do you want me to go first, or do you want to go first?
Doesn't matter.
Okay, I'll go. I've got Witherspoon, Torrance, Wright, Nolan Smith, and Paris Johnson as my 11 through 15. Oh no.
Witherspoon is one of the guys I have a late first, early second grade on. Like a second round grade on.
Why is that?
Because he's not that. I like his play style, but I don't know. He gets beat easily. He doesn't have the best skills. He is a less skilled version of Jalen Ramsey.
Really? I see more of Jair in his game than I see Ramsey.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's just me being biased because everybody thinks he's the best corner in this class and he's not. But
no.
So yeah. Sorry. Can you repeat your
11
through
15? Let me defend Witherspoon real quick.
Sure.
First. Okay. So this might be a dumb question, but I'm asking because I only learned this term this offseason.
Okay.
Do you know what route squeeze is? Have you ever heard that term used before?
That term? No.
Yes. Okay. So I learned this from Marcus Whitman, TFG, that franchise guy, whatever you want to call him.
Yeah. Okay.
Basically, imagine a rubber band. I don't have one, but imagine a rubber band, right? If you have one,
I got something close.
you can whip it out.
Fucking hair tie.
Good enough. That works. Okay. So hold it like this, right? One end here and one end here.
Haha.
Right? So imagine one end is the wide receiver, one end is the corner.
Okay.
At a certain point, they're going to separate when the wide receiver breaks, right? Because the corner does not know where the wide receiver is going to go.
Yeah.
Route squeeze is how quickly they're able to connect, how quickly they're able to break that separation, physically and mentally react to the break that's happening, and, reattach, re-stick, whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
That is the concept of route squeeze.
Okay.
And in my opinion, Witherspoon has the best route squeeze in this class by a lot.
I don't know about that.
Like, yeah, there might be instances where, like, over the top he gets burnt, but when it comes to cuts on routes, whether somebody's cutting inside, cutting back, whatever, it does not take a lot for Witherspoon to be right back on their ass. Like, there is not a lot of time from his mental and physical reaction time to stick back to somebody. And that is huge. Because whatever else, if you can stick to your man as a corner, that's going to take you places.
Yeah.
That is a massive trait for corners. Like, my big issues with Witherspoon, I know Jackson talked about this when he was tweeting about him. He cannot hang in off coverage, like, at all. Like, that is rough. And he's a little over eager, which I think Gonzalez is as well. I think they're just both, they can get grabby and they want to attack the ball, and sometimes that can get them in trouble. But other than that, like, also Witherspoon's skinny. He's like 5'11", 170, 180 pounds. Maybe I'm underselling him a little bit, but he's a skinny dude. But either way, his reaction time's great. He's a fluid mover. He accelerates well. He tackles well. That's a big thing for me. I know it technically doesn't have to be for a corner, but I'm
so
weird
you're an
and I
Antoine
like my
Winfield enjoyer, I see. Antoine
like
Winfield
players...
Senior. You are too young to know who he was.
Yeah, but I mean,
Sad.
I know who he is. I just don't know about how he played. But my point is, like, I I like corners that can tackle. It's not necessary. Like if you're sick in coverage but you can't tackle, if you're Deion Sanders, different story. But I do like a corner that can play run defense, and Witherspoon's capable of that. And he's really good in press coverage as well. So like I like Witherspoon a lot. He's not Gonzalez. I don't think he's a borderline generational talent like I do Gonzalez, but he's good. And I think the only other issue I would have with him isn't even really a him thing. It's just because of his size, he might get boxed into a nickel role where he's not able to do as much. But I think that would be a mistake. I think if someone lets him be a boundary corner, he's gonna have a good NFL career.
Fair enough. All right, re-hit me with your 11 through 15.
Yeah. Okay. So Witherspoon, Torrance, Darnell Wright, Nolan Smith, Paris Johnson Jr., and that's it.
Okay.
That's my top 15. Yeah.
So we
I thought I had one more.
exactly agree for Paris Johnson Jr. at 15.
Valid. Valid.
So I've got JSN at 12.
I
John
haven't
Michael
watched
Schmitz at
receivers,
13. Joey Porter
Okay.
Jr. at 14, and then Paris Johnson Jr. at 15.
Okay,
I've skipped 11. Bryce Young. I already went over that though. So
right.
Young, Njigba, Schmitz, Porter Jr.
Where
Paris
was
Johnson.
Joey Porter Jr. for you?
14.
Oh, okay, so we're not that far off. I have him in my top 20.
Okay.
And
then
but
Witherspoon
sorry,
for me
go
is at 23, just so you know.
Okay.
He is the
Can you repeat that one more
last
time?
guy
I got caught up
outside
on Porter.
Yeah, just like I did with Witherspoon for you.
Right. Yeah.
So Young, JSN, JMS, Joey Porter,
Right.
Paris Johnson.
Okay. See, I have John Michael Schmitz in the 21 to 22, or 21 to 22. Yeah, round 1, round 2. God, I'm a moron. But I think that might not so much be him. I think it's just because of how high I am on the next two centers with Whipler, however you say his name, and Joe Tippmann. That I guess by proxy kind of drags him down a little bit. But I see the vision with having him high. Like John Michael Schmitz is a dog. He's going to be a great center, plug and play day one.
He should have been a fucking Viking, not Garrett
Creed
Bradbury.
Humphrey type center.
I'm sad.
Yeah, I'm good with that. I don't really have any complaints with your 11 to 15.
Yeah,
Like I said, I
think
haven't
I'm just
watched
higher
JSN.
on Porter and I'm lower on Witherspoon. That's the real biggest thing there.
Yeah, I gotta watch receivers. I'm starting tomorrow. I'm gonna spend tonight cleaning up on running backs, and then tomorrow I'm attacking receivers.
JSN he's got the Travis Kelce gene.
Yeah, I
He's
have
just
an
open.
idea.
No matter what, he's just open. It's like with Kelce. You know he's their best weapon. You know to cover him. Somehow there's never a guy within 15 yards ever. It's
right.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, some guys just know how to sit in a zone. Like they just know, and that's important. Like when
I know a slot guy like JSN should not be considered a top 15 player in a class, but when you're that good at getting open, fuck it. If the NFL wants to be stupid and let another slot guy fall to Minnesota, do it, please.
Oh
JSN as a Viking. JSN and JJ. Imagine. You don't want to, actually.
You're right,
I know.
I don't. Let's move on. I'll give you my 16 to 20 here. Since I guess this is just the episode. We're running through our draft boards.
Well, that, and then we're gonna talk about trades because those are interesting.
Okay. So 16 through 20, I've got Van Ness, who you already told me you're a lot lower on. Cansey, Deontay Banks, Joey Porter Jr., and Anton Harrison.
Fair enough. I don't really have any complaints. We both agree exactly on Cansey again.
Wow.
So I have Michael Mayer, Kalijah Cansey, C.J. Stroud, Peter Skoronsky, and Quentin Johnston.
Okay, so 2 dudes I haven't watched and 2 dudes in my top 10. And then Cansey.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
All
I don't
right,
know. For
so
Johnston, it's this thing. I know everybody's lower on him right now. And I do kind of get it. Like, he does have this issue where, like, as the play goes on, he just, like, loses interest in being alive. It's the weirdest thing.
oh, so he's got that Allen Robinson gene.
Kinda. Because he's got great ability to get off the ball. My brain is blanking on words, but it's fine. His get off the line and ability to beat guys out the box is great.
I get
But
what you
as the
mean.
route develops, he just loses it for some
Well,
reason.
to be fair, he did have Max Dugan throwing him the
That's
football.
fair.
Wouldn't you lose interest after a
That's
while?
fair. That's fair. And like, for his size, he should be a jump ball guy. But he like is we some plays he'll go up and moss 3 dudes. And then the next time he's given a contested catch opportunity, he'll just try to run under it. The corner will cut him off and pick it. It's so weird.
So he's not like my glorious king Josh Downs, who fights for everything.
No. But again, how much of that is the fact that he's dealing with Max Dugan and is just annoyed? Like,
All I'm
dipshit,
hearing
I
is
was
Josh
open
Downs wide
5
receiver
minutes
too.
ago. No.
I haven't watched him. All I know about Josh Downs is he played for UNC. He's 5'11", and he had like a crazy contested catch rate. That's all I need to know to push my narratives.
Yeah, and Quentin Johnston's contested catch rate is not that good for what you think he is. But I don't view him as the big contested catch receiver. I just don't.
So he's what Steelers fans think Chase Claypool is then.
Yeah. No, he's better.
Well, you know what I mean. It's the idea of a big body guy that doesn't have any interest in contested catches.
I wouldn't say it doesn't have any interest, but that's not his primary thing. He wants to be JJ. Not exactly slot, but not exactly a contested catch guy. Just more of your, like, weird deep threat guy. Which could work. It could work. Or you get him to a team where the coaches will coach him up. And I can think of a team who has a pick where he might still be available, who's got a really good wide receivers coach who can coach him up. So,
Carolina?
no. Who's their wide receivers coach?
Well, I'm just saying, you said where he's available to be picked. He's available to be picked at the first pick.
That's true. Not everybody's telling me he's going to fall out of the first round. I don't think so.
If he does, I will laugh audibly
He
on
won't.
the stream.
Nah, Keenan McCardell's going to coach him up. It's going to happen. Do
You know who will fall out of the first round?
Who?
Miles Murphy.
I hope so.
I got called a hater the other day because there was a tweet about a bunch of GMs being in attendance for his pro day, and I said they're in attendance for mid. People were mad at me.
But it's valid,
just
though.
True. Listen, speaking of getting in trouble for talking about, I've got him at 33.
He's not in my top 33, which is all I have at the moment, like, tracked.
I have 101 tracked.
I haven't done full rankings on a lot of guys. I've just, like, watched the film and haven't, like, broke down my thoughts and where I'm putting them, so they don't have their number grades, so they can't go on the list.
Right, that's fair. But speaking of getting in trouble for talking about draft prospects, did you see what happened yesterday?
No, I feel like I'm out of the loop now.
Oh my god! So I tweeted about Emmanuel Forbes.
Oh,
I was watching
I did see that actually.
Yeah. So for anyone who doesn't know or hasn't been keeping up, Emmanuel Forbes is a very slender and very long prospect. His arms are long, and his body is very, very thin. So I tweeted out just Emmanuel Forbes, and then it was like the stick bug from A Bug's Life, the monster with long arms from Monsters, I think it's Monsters Inc., might be Monsters University, Siren Head, and Inteleon from Pokemon. Just these long, slender characters.
Yeah.
I get a reply to the tweet from a verified account. It says, quote, "My nephew will be a first-round pick, period, at Emmanuel Forbes 7.
Yeah,
I
it's
felt
weird
so
that we get
bad.
to the point where like people that like either the players themselves or their people they know see our tweets. So really got to be careful about what we're saying about people now, I
And
guess.
it wasn't
No,
even like I was
no,
saying
not with
Emmanuel Forbes is bad.
not with yours, but like I tweet out some heinous shit about players sometimes, and I'm gonna have to
Yeah,
cut back on that. I should have realized that after Calais Campbell's brother replied to me the one time.
right.
I should have
But see,
realized like I gotta pull back on being an asshole about players.
well, see, that's the thing. Like, it was like a thread, and the second tweet in the thread was like, by the way, he's still a dog. He's just built different.
Yeah,
Like, literally, he is
literally
built
different.
different. Because I like Emmanuel Forbes. I think he's fun. I think he's going to be very hard to project.
Yeah.
And I think he's a guy that has to be in a very specific system
What
to
kind of
work.
system you feel? I haven't watched Forbes.
That, like, Fangio cover 4 that, like, 9 teams run at this point.
So not a Viking. Got it.
No, I've actually got a list of teams he would fit on. Let me find my notes here. Because I can't remember. It's like Green Bay, Miami, Carolina. Shit.
I
Where's
want
it
the
at?
Vikings to trade up to 3
Here
and
it
take
is.
Christian Gonzalez. That's what I need.
Here it is. Panthers, Eagles, Commanders, Packers, Cardinals, Rams, Bills, Dolphins, and Chargers. If he doesn't get drafted by one of those 9 teams, he's cooked. He's just not going to work because he's got to. I don't know. He's got to play like a very specific type of off-man coverage that allows him to just spring like in an instant, which is really weird. He's like a really springy athlete. He's like what's that Nintendo Switch game with like the springy arms where they like box and they put it in Smash Bros.
Wii Sports Boxing?
No. Hold on.
I have no fucking clue what you're talking about.
It's quite literally called Arms. There's a game called Arms.
No.
And
I don't
the
accept
characters
this.
the main character is called Springman, and his arms are literally springs with boxing gloves on the end. And he like throws his arm out really far. I only know about this because he was a DLC character for Smash Bros. But that is what his legs are. They're just springs. And he just, whether it's run defense or in coverage, he springs to wherever the ball is and is able to make plays. He's weird. He's a really weird player. Like he's somebody that depending on your
in this
scheme,
class. There's a lot of just weird.
He's somebody that depending on your scheme, I could see being a late second, early third round grade or like a day 3 grade. Depending on, like, I have him in the middle. I have him like in the 4th round, I think.
Minnesota doesn't have him on their board. Promise.
Probably not with Brian Flores.
No, they need Christian Gonzalez, like, or Joey Porter Jr. Even Devon Witherspoon. I don't like
Devon
him.
Witherspoon.
I don't
you
like
are
him.
disgusting.
I personally am a hater. It's okay.
Yeah.
I will
whatever.
acknowledge that.
What a weird player to be a hater for. What did Devon Witherspoon ever do to you?
People talk about him like he's the best prospect in this class, and he's not.
Respect.
And he's not close to being the best corner. It's not close. Gonzalez is head and shoulders above. Many heads, many shoulders, some may say. Get this man a sponsorship. No.
Okay, listen, he's not Troy Polamalu. If we're giving anybody a head and shoulder sponsorship, it's got to be Siaki Ika.
That's valid.
He broke my heart as a prospect. He really did.
Why?
Because I saw Brett
we have very differing opinions on prospects. It's great.
Yeah. Well, see, Brett Coleman, I saw somewhere he called him Vita Vea in green. and he's not.
He is,
Bro
though.
plays 3 snaps and then needs to sit down.
Jalen Carter plays 1 and then goes and sits down. What do you mean?
I know, like I
Vita
don't know.
Vea hasn't played 3 snaps in a row in his life.
I also don't think he has the dominance Vita Vea does. Like I just think I don't want to say that it factor and sound like a fucking old head talking about quarterbacks, but I do think there is an extra gear, I guess, to Vita Vea's game that Siaki Ika just doesn't have. I don't think Siaki Ika's bad by any means. I don't. Like I think he's going to be a good nose tackle in the NFL. I just don't see Vita Vea in his game. I see like I don't know, this guy's going to come in and eat up a bunch of space and not be as productive. Even though I know Vita Vea isn't super
I
productive,
was
but
going to
like
say,
by
you're
nose tackle
describing
standards.
Vita Vea. That's
He's
it.
a less dominant Vita Vea. He doesn't have, again, I don't want to say that it factor, but that kind of feels like that's what it is. Jesus Christ, we're talking about an it factor for nose tackles, right? Or I am talking about an it factor for nose tackles. That's how you know I care.
Moving on. 21 through 25, because I'm not letting you continue this bullshit. 21, I have Anthony Richardson, Dalton Kincaid, Devon Witherspoon, Broderick Jones, Jahmyr Gibbs. I came around.
We actually have 2 overlapping, not in the same spot, but 2 players.
Ooh.
I've got Will Levis, Jack Campbell, Jahmyr Gibbs, BJ Ojolari, and Broderick Jones.
Interesting. BJ being that high is surprising to me.
I like me some. Let me rephrase that. I like
phrasing.
Ojolari. I like Ojolari. I am an Ojolari enjoyer, if you will.
Phrasing. That's reversed, but it's fine.
This
guy.
I
had to show off, the notebooks I sell. TheGeekSlays.com. Haha, cheap plug on not my show. Cheap plugs.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
It's not like I've been showing off other merch this entire time.
Why what's the problem with Ojolari? Why do you think he's that high? Or why do you think it's interesting that he's that high rather?
He's not in my top 33. That's what I'll tell you.
Really?
Yeah.
So where do you have him ranked among the edge rushers in this class?
Oh God. Who
I'm
else
whip
do I
out
have
my notebook as well.
Tyree, Nolan, Anderson. Van Ness. I mean, still somewhere in the 5 to 7 range.
I was gonna say he's my edge 5.
But you got to remember, my edge 4 is ranked 26. So.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm just a little higher on the edges than you are, it seems.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, listen, I will say BJ Ojolari isn't an edge I would typically be a fan of, and I found that a lot with some of the players in this class. Chase Brown being another one, where they're players that normally wouldn't be archetypes I like. Like BJ Ojolari's an edge that's a bad run defender, and usually that is a major turnoff for me. But I don't know, man. I get something about his. How do I explain this? His IQ when it comes to knowing exactly how to use each type of move and how to string them together and counter with different moves and whatnot really impressed me.
You like his bag. Okay.
Yeah, I love his bag. But not only do I like his bag, I like that he knows how to use it very effectively. Because you'll see guys that have a deep bag, but they don't know when to break out a spin versus a swim versus a cross chop or whatever. BJ Ojolari knows exactly when to break out each type of move at any given moment. And that really, really stood out to me. Obviously, like, he's, one of those long arm, technically sound, bendy dudes that, like, it's just fun. Just a fun edge rusher. Like I said, I don't love that he can't defend the run that well, but, if he, say, for example, you put him in Kansas City, right? you give him a defensive line that already has Chris Jones and George Karlaftis, and linebacker core of Willie Gay and Nick Bolton and Leo Chanel, where he can take a back seat as a run defender. Not saying he can take the plays off, but he doesn't have to be the guy to defend the run. And I think you can get away with it. Like if you have other guys that are dominant run defenders, you can make up for that.
So I've got BJ in the same realm as Miles Murphy and Will McDonald. I'm a big Will McDonald guy.
Yeah, I can see it. I've got
it's
those three as edge 5, 6, and 7, I believe.
Are those three.
But there's a gap between BJ and the other two for me.
Fair enough.
Yeah, because I think...
But none of those three are in my top 33. That's what I know.
Why is he so... That's not right. I'll have to fix that. I've got him lower on my draft board than I should. I don't know why.
That happens when
yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
But what were your 21 to 25 again? Because Jahmyr Gibbs and Broderick Jones, I think, were the two we had that overlapped.
Yeah.
I love Gibbs. I fucking love Gibbs.
I'm definitely not as high on him as you are. I mean, I guess we're similarly high in the draft class, but as a player, I'm just not as high. I know you love the guy. I think he's good. I think he'd
be RB1 in most recent classes.
I don't. I like Hall and Walker more. But
him and Hall are closer. I wasn't as high on Walker as I was Hall.
To me, Kenneth Walker was better. So
yeah.
Guess that turned out to be true, because Ken Walker still has both knees.
Yeah, just wait until the Breece Hall breakout next year. No, 2,000 yards.
Won't happen. Zeke's gonna be RB1.
No, I literally liked Breece Hall more because he reminded me of Matt Forte.
Nice.
Like, dead ass, that was why I like Breece Hall so much. I see so much Matt Forte in his game.
Did Matt Forte... Matt Forte ended up on the Jets, so it all works out.
Don't remind me, I cried that day.
It's alright, you didn't have to watch your favorite running back of all time fade into obscurity playing for every team in the league.
No, I had to watch him fade into obscurity playing for the fucking Jets of the mid-2010s.
So, the Jets when they were weirdly decent? And Ryan Fitzpatrick was being the GOAT?
I don't think it was those Jets teams.
Oh, it
like when he was finally gone. Maybe it was. Maybe I'm misremembering.
All right, now I gotta go look. Now I'm intrigued. We're looking up the Matt Forte lore here, ladies and gentlemen.
Matt Forte lore. I made a Matt Forte TikTok today.
I haven't made a TikTok in God knows how long. Not a real one.
Matt Forte.
Matt Forte. The 2016 Jets. I am misremembering.
What were they that
those
year?
were the Ryan Fitzpatrick teams, but it just was not good. That 2016 wasn't his last year. It was his first year in New York. They went 5-11.
Yeah.
Year 2, final year in the league, they went 5-11.
Yeah.
Oh, but that one wasn't the Ryan Fitzpatrick years. That was Josh McCown and Bryce Petty season.
What year did you say Forte retired?
2017.
God, he really only lasted 8 years in the league. It felt so much longer.
Yeah. That's kind of how that goes. He also only made 2 Pro Bowls.
Criminal.
Never was an All-Pro.
Criminal.
Well, that's not very criminal. He came into the league a year after AP.
Okay, fair.
I'm sorry.
Still would have liked the second team nod.
I'm trying to remember who else was in the NFC at the time. My brain's blanking. There was definitely some Michael Turner years in there. 100%.
You got to remember, there was a year where Matt Forte broke the single season reception record for a running back and held it for quite a while.
Yeah, because he had 102. But in that year, I don't know how you have 102 catches and average 4 yards a carry, don't get the 2,000 yard total season.
Jay Cutler.
I don't know how you do that.
Jay Cutler.
Don't blame the GOAT.
Oh, what year was that?
That would have been 2014.
Oh God, what's the fuck face's name?
I don't even think
Offensive
that
coordinator
was.
that was running his mouth about Fields.
I don't know, some idiot.
Hold on. Yeah, no, I gotta look this up.
Their head coach was Mark Trestman. Aaron Cromer.
Oh, okay, it wasn't who I thought then. That would have been before that. This guy's still gonna piss me off.
It was Jay Cutler's season, and Jay Cutler didn't play that bad.
Well, yeah, no,
I mean, the
I'm
Bears
gonna
sucked.
chalk that one up to Tressman. That is a Tressman moment.
You did have to have a full one game started by Jimmy Clausen that year, so
I do remember that.
and 4 total appearances by Mr. Clausen.
I remember
Must have been
Jimmy
the
Clausen's
offensive
jersey.
line. Cutler got sacked 38 times.
Yeah.
Gotta love that. Okay, I'm trying to think though. Right, that same year, 2014, who were the All Pros? Oh, that was DeMarco Murray's 1,800-yard year.
Yo.
So you had DeMarco, and then who the fuck else was up there?
You know, the guy I was thinking of was Mike Martz, and he was the
Ah.
Bears OC for 2 years, 2010 and 2011. I thought it was longer than that.
Where do I find the All? I wish I could see the All Pro teams here, but I can't. 2014. All right, let's look at rushing stats. Maybe this will just help me figure it out. Shady must have been All Pro. I think that's what that's signifying. No, that's Pro Bowl. So the first team All Pro was DeMarco. Oh, this doesn't show me who was second team All Pro, but it was either LaShawn McCoy or Marshawn Lynch, who both had better rushing seasons, which, you know, how the NFL be. Oh, it was definitely Marshawn. He had 13 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Because that was one of the
Yeah.
years where AP was not around.
I miss
I
Matt
don't know if
Forte.
that was injury year or suspension year. Don't remember.
Oh, I forgot about the suspension.
Yeah.
Um,
One of those big F skis for a player.
Yeah.
Could be a lot worse, but still not great. I'm trying to figure out what year that was, though. That was I still don't know, actually. I think that was an injury year. What year would his suspension have been then? I think 2016 was his suspension year, maybe. I don't know. I don't remember.
I don't remember either. Like I said, I forgot it even happened.
Yeah. Well, because he was injured so much, you know, you don't really think of it.
Right.
I still wish the Vikings would trade Dalvin Cook.
that was a transition.
Well, I'm not transitioning. No.
Okay.
It's just my hope in life that they'd trade Dalvin and sign Adrian for one final season. He can get his final 2 rushing touchdowns to move up one more spot on the list in purple. He can play a game in the house that Adrian Peterson built. I'm sorry, he built US Bank Stadium. I'm giving him the credit. You call Lucas Oil Stadium the house that Peyton built? US Bank is the house that AP built.
I think
he deserves it.
all the underpaid construction workers probably build it.
Go to your room, you fucking 12-year-old. I hate
That
you.
is where I am currently at.
No, not really. Nice Target boxes. What are in them?
Oh, thank you. Funko Pops that aren't on the shelves.
My man's needs more shelves.
Yeah, it's because my
Or
old
less
room I had
Funkos.
more shelving. Never less, only more. Also, like old football figures that I didn't have room for. I could only put my Bears ones up top, but I have like other teams in the boxes. And also
Fair
like
enough.
empty Funko boxes from the ones that aren't displayed. Some of them broke when I moved, and that made me sad.
That's fair.
Like Iron Man's head popped off, and
Damn.
Spider-Man's stand broke off. Yeah,
Good
very
God.
unfortunate. But so who do you have? I say we do our top 30. Who do you have
Oh, yeah.
26 to 30?
Actually, let's just do our top 33 because
Okay.
that's how many players I have. So might as well
Okay.
just go with the
Okay.
order. And I'm just going to finish it off here.
Okay. 26 to 33. Got
So
it.
I have Lucas Van Ness at 26, Brian Brzee at 27, Jack
Okay.
Campbell 28, Cam Smith
Okay.
29, Will
Okay.
Levis at 30, Darnell Wright at 31, Jordan Addison at 32, DeJuan Jones at 33.
Okay. So you're a little lower on Campbell than I am.
Yeah, I knew I was gonna. I called it earlier. I was like, I'm lower on what three guys did I say? It doesn't matter. But I called being lower on three of them earlier.
Yeah. So my 26 to 33, I've got John Michael Schmitz at 26, DeJuan Jones at 27, J.L. Skinner at 28, Tyreek Stevenson at 29, Tyjae Spears at 30, Andrew Voorhees at 31, Luke Weipler at 32, and then Miles Murphy at 33.
Wow. 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 Okay.
What are the wows
All
about?
of that's a wow. Just all of it.
Elaborate. Elaborate.
For as much
Let's
shit as
have
you
a
talk on Miles
discussion.
Murphy, the amount of people you think he's better than is a little wild.
Well, here's the thing with Murphy, right? I don't think he's dog shit. He's got upside. I just think he's like, I'll put it this way. I see the vision for him being good, right? You look back to 2021, there's a lot to like. He was this tenacious, aggressive end that could run you over or get around you, could play good run defense. And then you get to 2022, it's all gone. It is all out the window.
So it's like Will
I don't,
Anderson.
but 10 times worse. Like way worse. And I don't know if it's an injury thing. I don't know if there were things going on off the field that were messing with his mind. I don't know what it was. I'm not going to make assumptions obviously, but something had to have happened between 2021 and 2022 to explain the player Murphy was. However, looking at 2021, if a team wants to bank on that back end of the first round, early second round, I totally understand because there is upside there. He is an athletic freak. The only problem is you don't know which version of Murphy you're getting. If you get 2021 Murphy, he's one of the 4 or 5 best edge rushers in this class, can be a dude on your defensive line. If you understand that he's not going to be able to be a tweener like a lot of people want in edges now where they can kind of kick inside and outside, he's going to have to be a straight up edge. He just isn't going to kick inside. That's not going to happen. So if you realize, like, if you, I don't want to say appreciate what he is, but if you understand what he is and you're willing to take that gamble on him, I understand. Like, that's the thing with how good he was in 2021. I don't want to completely throw him out the window, but with how bad he was in 2022, I also can't ignore that. And you also have to remember, I haven't watched any tight ends. I haven't watched any wide receivers. I've only watched 3 safeties. I've watched 3 defensive tackles.
How many
Like
corners have you watched?
15.
Why are you so low on Cam Smith?
I'm not that low on Cam Smith. I have Cam Smith at 34.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He is the next guy up. Quite literally from where we left off. He is the
Literally,
next guy
yeah.
up.
Fair enough.
Yeah, no, Cam Smith was fine. He didn't blow me away, but I mean, he'll be fine.
I'm gonna be honest. Not a lot of this class blew me away. I think I'm gonna have to make the distinction that my ratings are like a yearly thing. You can't compare the actual
Yeah.
number year by year because this class is weak. And next year when I have this, like, an insane number of prospects rated way higher because next year's class is, if it's better, I don't know if it will be or not. But there's a world where Caleb Williams has the same rating as like Bijan Robinson or a lower rating. I don't know.
Yeah.
Haven't scouted him. I'm not worried about it yet. I've just watched him play in games and gone, that guy good. I haven't broke it down. I'm just like, oh, that guy good. That's what I know.
Yeah. I will say as well, with Murphy, I should specify, he also kind of gets pushed up a little bit because there's a lot of edge rushers that I think aren't quite as good as him, but are good, that I have pushed higher, so by proxy, he's gotten pushed up my board a little bit. Like Zach Harrison, for example, from Ohio State. Love the guy. I think he can be like a top end edge too, right? The perfect Robin to somebody's Batman. I don't think he's ever going to be an alpha edge, but he'll be a damn good pocket pusher with the potential to get to the quarterback. But I can't put him above Miles Murphy because he is a straight up robot when you ask him to do anything but run straight. It's rough. So it's him, and then I always fuck up his name. Tuli from USC. Tuliputu, however you say his name.
I've never even tried. I refuse.
I suck at names.
There's too many letters there. I'm not even trying.
There's a lot of U's.
Like the only time
I think it's Tulipulotu. I'm pretty sure it's Tulipulotu.
The only time I ever say names with that many letters is when it's names I've heard a lot. Like TJ Hushmanzada. He had too many letters, but
or like Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Yeah, you just hear their names a lot and it clicks.
Yeah. But yeah, like I don't know. I give Murphy a lot of shit because a lot of people are way too high on him. But I also don't think he's like a bad player. I just think he's incredibly overrated. Kind of the big thing with him.
Fair. Well, I think we can talk about a couple trade rumors here. I know of one for the Bears. At least I keep seeing it on Twitter.
Which is?
What are your thoughts on Chase Young?
I like Chase Young. I
would welcome
move up
Chase for Young. Chase Young. Especially in a world where Tyree Wilson's not there.
Yeah, no, listen. If Tyree Wilson isn't on the board, he won't be. You're right. I would welcome that. Absolutely. You get a guy who, at worst, I think is just going to be a good run defender on the defensive line. At best, Chase Young was a second overall pick for a reason.
Yeah.
And with the amount of money Washington shelled out across their defensive line now with Payne and with John Allen, and soon to be Montez Sweat,
and then
I can understand why they'd be willing. Well, that's what I'm saying. Chase Young is up for it as well, and they don't have the money to stretch that.
And so I could see wanting to keep Sweat, even though he's the worst player of the two. He's going to be cheaper. And he's also been healthier. More. So,
yeah.
And if I'm the Bears, it's like Chase Young is still young and has the ability to be incredible. And our D-line still kind of sucks. So,
yeah. Although, respect Rasheem Green, who is the newest Chicago Bear. 10 sacks over the past 2 seasons.
So he's worse than DJ Wanham. Minnesota's edge 5.
Listen, when he kicks inside to 3-tech, he will eat James Bradbury for lunch.
James Bradbury's a corner, so I hope if he was trying to block him, he would get eaten.
What's his fucking name? What's Bradbury's first name?
Garrett.
I knew it was some white guy name. Garrett. Y'all paid a guy named Garrett. I hope you know that.
I really don't hear the Bears fan talking about who's getting paid, right?
Garrett.
Mm-hmm.
Name one Garrett who's stand out in the NFL. There's probably someone. There's probably
I'm
a
trying
fucking
to think.
Hall of Fame.
Also, Miles Garrett.
That's his
Ha-ha!
last name. The last name doesn't count.
No,
Has to be his first
You're
name.
moving the goalpost now. You said
Listen,
name a
deadass.
Garrett. I did, motherfucker.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest. My mind didn't even go to Miles Garrett. You know where my mind fucking went?
Where? Also,
Kobe Gerhart.
valid. Also, dog, Garrett Wilson exists.
Fuck, you're right.
Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Like I said, there's probably. I knew there was somebody I was skipping
Dude,
over.
my brain was like Garrett Wilson. And I was like, that is not his name. That can't be his name.
Right. Doesn't sound like a real person.
Right? I was like, that's not his name. I
If
just
your
had to
name's
Google
Garrett-
it.
Yeah, if your name is Garrett, your parents lied to you. You are being gaslit. Find
You
your
also
birth
got to
certificate.
remember, Garrett Bradbury is the most athletic offensive lineman in the NFL. Do we not remember what he did to the Packers?
Or why? Or why?
Do you not remember what he did to the Packers?
You've told me 100 times, but I always forget. He like chased somebody down.
No, the I don't even remember if it was legal or not. But there was like I can't remember if it was a pass or somebody got hit and fumbled, but he like caught it on his feet. Like it was an inch above the ground. And then outran everyone on the Packers defense for like 20 yards. He was just going. Garrett Bradbury had that one play that will never be remembered because all I will ever remember after that is Dexter Lawrence eating him for lunch.
Yeah. But back to the Bears, because that's what we were talking about, and that's what matters. No, I would be more than happy with Chase Young. I think that would be sick. I don't think it's realistic. I don't think it would happen.
I don't know. Washington wants 9 in this
I mean,
world.
I don't know. Maybe. I guess they'd have to be out on Sam Howell, and Levis would have to fall for that to happen.
Or they could be in on something else. Christian Gonzalez falls. They're worried Philly wants him.
Wallace falls to 9. He better be a Bear.
No, because Ryan Poles doesn't know how to draft, so it's okay.
This guy. You're like the guy I saw on my timeline today that was complaining about the Bears missing on their 7th round picks last year.
I did see that. That was pretty dope. Hey, NFL fans are stupid. Have you not seen any tweet that I've replied to about Kwesi?
I actually don't.
The dude can't draft. Look at last year's draft class. Oh, you mean Lewis Seen, who played a total of 1 defensive snap. Oh, Andrew Booth, who played a total of 35 defensive snaps. Brian Asamoah, who played a total of 55 snaps. Actually, Asamoah looked fucking awesome when he was on the field. It's just he wasn't on the field. I know. You dislike Asamoah. You're a hater. We get it. And actually, he was a better tackler than everyone on the Bears last year, so I don't want to hear it.
Respect Sanborn.
No.
Sanborn could actually tackle. It's just when 1 out of 11 guys can tackle, it's not a good sight.
It's like I told you. Harrison Smith and Eric Kendricks were going to teach that boy up, and they did.
Well, I hope they were, like, beating the idea of not leading with his head into him, because that was bad. Like, genuinely speaking, not even from a hating perspective, I was scared for that man's health.
That's fair.
Because leading with your head like that, like, that's another thing. If I'm not mistaken, Siaki likes to put his head down a little bit.
The 33rd team, you're stupid.
Yes.
Oh my God.
What is it now? Yes.
Mock draft. Bryce Young goes at 1 to the Panthers.
Valid.
Not valid.
I know you hate Bryce Young's height.
No, he's the best quarterback in this class. I agree with you there, you fucking ass. He doesn't fit the Panthers. He is literally the worst fit for that team. No. The quarterbacks aren't that far off. You take Stroud because he's perfect for the offense you run.
Bears Twitter would hate you for talking about scheme fit,
I know.
because according to them, it isn't real.
I know. And that's why Geno had that resurgence. It wasn't scheme at all. He just
No,
magically became goated.
he just didn't write back.
That's well, sadly he wrote back. He wrote a thing. So Geno's now sucks. I'm calling it here.
Anyways, continue the mock.
Anthony Richardson goes at 2.
Interesting.
Titans,
Jackson did that on our mock the other day.
That's fine. The Titans trade up to 3 for Levis. Stroud is the 4th quarterback off the board. What are we doing? What? Nah, if the Titans trade up above the Colts and take fucking Will Levis, we're done. We're done. The Titans don't deserve to ever win another game in the history of ever.
I think at that point we question whether or not the Titans are a racist organization.
Well, we can't really do that. They took Malik Willis last year. But also Malik Willis the GOAT, so...
He transcends racial biases.
He kind of does, because he's just a genuinely awesome human.
Isn't the Titans GM black? I think he is. I think Rand Carthen is a black man. Hold on. I gotta look this up.
Oh, God. I don't know how to... Oh, yes, he is.
Yes, Rand Carthen.
Yes, the racist GM in Tennessee.
Maybe the 33rd team is racist.
That makes more sense. Well, it doesn't, though, because Levis should have gone 1 at that point.
No, that's too far.
And
they got to sprinkle in a little bit of some sense and then throw it off the cliff. Continue though. What happens after that though, or was it just the quarterbacks you were mad at?
I haven't clicked. That was just the picture I saw that annoyed me. After that, the Seahawks go Will Anderson. Honestly, if he's there, makes a ton of sense.
Valid.
Don't hate it. Detroit goes Tyree Wilson. I don't know about that.
Why?
They don't need another edge.
Well,
they have 4 of them. Why do they need a 5th one?
Maybe they don't like Pascal. Maybe they don't like James Houston as much as everybody seems to.
I highly doubt that.
I also highly doubt it, but mayhaps.
The Raiders are taking offensive tackle number 5. Broderick Jones at 7.
Oh. Okay. I don't like that, but
Christian Gonzalez at 8. I love the idea of AJ Terrell and Christian Gonzalez. That's just
I don't want to play that.
That just reminds me of the 2010 through 2012 Jets with Revis and Cromartie.
Yeah,
and
I don't want to play
that.
I don't want that in my conference.
They're still the Falcons, so we don't really have to worry about it.
Don't play Gonzalez at safety.
Jesse Bates is going to be the other outside
corner.
No,
they'll kick Gonzalez out the wide receiver. I'm doing my prospect profile on him, and I found out he played wide receiver in high school.
There you go. Paris Johnson goes to the Bears.
Boring.
Jalen Carter goes to the Eagles.
Oh my God, Bears Twitter would explode if we passed on Jalen Carter.
That would be amazing. No, but also Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis back together again
with Nakobe Dean.
That's true. The Georgia defense
straight up and draft Nolan Smith.
There's a world where they don't have to trade up.
I don't think that's very likely.
I don't either, but none of this mock draft seems likely. So I don't fucking know what to tell you.
Take Stetson to back up. That's his nuts to back up Hurts.
Everything
draft
about
Keely Ringo.
The Cardinals are taking Devon Witherspoon.
I like that fit.
I don't. The Cardinals have so many needs. There are so many better players on the board here.
Well, see, I'm higher on Witherspoon than you are. That's the difference here. I also think the Cardinals literally do not have a corner on their roster, so...
This offends me.
Oh no.
Quentin Johnston at 12 instead of JSN to the Texans. You took Anthony Richardson. JSN is the pick then. If you take Bryce Young, Quentin Johnston is the pick. I get that. Like, it depends on which guy you take. Like, that does matter. But, god damn it. Skoronski to the Jets. The Commanders trade up and take Hendon Hooker at 14.
Oh no!
All they do is jump the Packers for Hendon Hooker. Why? The Packers aren't taking a QB no matter who is there.
What if they do?
God.
Jordan Love, you are still riding the bench.
That would be tough.
Pick 15, Jaron Hall. I'd cry.
No, it's Jackson Smith and Jigba.
I will still cry.
Wait! The Patriots are taking DeWand Jones. Both Joneses go above Anton Harrison and Darnell Wright.
Well, that surely is one of the picks of all time.
That is a pick of all time. Joey Porter Jr. goes to the Steelers.
Of course. Boring pick, but valid.
Emmanuel Forbes to the Lions at 18.
He does not fit. He does not fit. No, what are you doing? You're ruining his career. He's gonna suck.
Nah, Dan Campbell's gonna put that dog in him.
Phrasing?
Yes.
No. Dan Campbell's gonna force him to put on like 80 pounds and go play linebacker.
Anton
Fuck,
Harrison
you're up there
to
with
the Bucs.
Rodrigo. Okay.
Okay. I hate that he fell that far when two tackles that are very much worse than him went above him. Jordan Addison at 20 to the Seahawks for no fucking reason.
I can see a world where Broderick Jones does go before Anton Harrison. Don't agree with it.
What is going on?
But I can see a world. Oh, no.
Jordan Addison at 20. Jalen Hyatt at 21 to the Chargers. Bajan is still alive, guys. What are we doing?
33rd team probably likes Austin Eckler.
I don't care. I really don't. Deontay Banks to the Ravens. I've never seen this happen because I don't think he exists this far. Brian Branch to the Vikings. I like it.
No.
I know, you're mad because you don't want the Vikings to get good players. I get it. Your favorite mock draft is the one where Jake had Max Dugan go to the Vikings at 23.
I keep giving Nolan Smith to the Vikings.
That's valid.
I don't like it.
Especially if we're losing Zadarius Smith. That makes sense.
Or, like you always say, Daniil might not come back because money.
I don't know what we're doing there. I don't know what's going on.
Right.
We're going to have a bunch of money as long as we let Kirk walk, so I'm down. Pay him. I'm down. What is going on? Michael Mayer at 24 to the Jaguars. Jonathan Mingo, wide receiver out of Ole Miss at 25.
Where the fuck is Zay?
I gotta do this real quick. Who?
Where is Zay Flowers?
Not here. They must be Cowboys fans because Bajan is going to Dallas.
In no way.
He's not falling that far.
In no way.
Darnell Wright to the Bills. I'm okay with that.
No, it makes sense. They don't have a right tackle.
Dalton Kincaid to the Bengals just doesn't. They're the Bengals. We all thought they would pick a tight end last year after they signed Hayden Hurst. They signed Irv Smith. They're not drafting a tight end. The Bengals just need a mid tight end. That is their only goal. They got that. The Saints at 29 go Miles Murphy, so they just get
that.
Wait.
Oh no.
Nolan Smith isn't a first round pick.
That's gross.
Another edge goes above him too. Not only Miles Murphy. The Eagles had the chance at Nolan and took Will McDonald. Lucas Van Ness and Nolan Smith don't exist in the first round. Oh, and Zay Flowers is a Chief. There you go.
It's
then
certainly
the
one of
Steelers
the...
end up with Van Ness. Whoa, we got a run of edge rushers right now.
Oh, this is a 2-rounder, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Van Ness to the
Keep
Steelers,
rolling.
Nolan Smith to the Texans, B.J. Ojolari to the Cardinals. Just bam, bam, bam.
Okay.
Oh,
They
my
cooking.
God.
They
Okay.
cooking.
Julian Brents goes to the Colts.
I like that. I like Julian Brents.
I don't like him going above Kaylee Ringo, though.
I do.
Cam Smith. What? No.
Cam Smith is questionable. Over Keely Ringo, I like. I do not like Keely Ringo.
Hater.
Keely Ringo
we're
is
both
a
dumb.
safety.
Chicago happy, though. Kalijah Cansey at 53.
I'm building Poles' statue that morning.
Don't build Poles a statue. Burn down every other NFL team's headquarters.
No, I am going back in time to build his statue before the draft.
No.
What?
Osiris Torrance falls to 58. To the fucking Dallas Cowboys.
Well, Zeke's got a Mack truck to run behind. Or Zeke, Jesus. Bijan's got a Mack truck to run behind.
What the fuck is this mock draft?
Who do the Bears take with their second?
Their second. Byron Young, edge rusher out of Tennessee.
I haven't watched him.
Me either.
Where did Zach Harrison go before that?
I don't think so, but I clicked
That
off
would
of it
anger
and
me.
missed.
That would anger me.
So I know some of this is NFL rumors stuff, so don't know if we can trust it because that account is that account. Apparently, Allen Robinson is on the trade block.
I think that's been known.
Maybe.
If I'm not
Don't
mistaken. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure it has been, because I saw a lot of Bears accounts taking victory laps a while back.
Mac Jones is apparently being shopped by the Patriots.
Allegedly, yeah.
Every trade rumor is allegedly, let's be honest.
Yeah. They're going to trade Mac and go get Lamar.
I mean, that would be a better team.
That would be a smart move.
Wow. The Chargers are apparently going to stick with Austin Eckler because nobody wants him. Huh. Wonder why. The Dolphins tried to trade for Dalvin Cook, apparently, before re-signing Raheem Mostert and Jeff Wilson. So I wonder which end it was on. Were the Dolphins just being disrespectful with their trade offer, or were the Vikings just being psychos? Make your guess.
Probably Minnesota being psychos.
Nah, based off the way
Kwesi
NFL fans are
bad.
talking about it, I don't know. Everybody thinks Dalvin is only worth a 9th round pick.
Real.
Because idiots. Oh, did you see the thing where apparently Minnesota wanted Monty?
I did, and I'm glad they didn't get him.
It wouldn't have fit at all. I guess unless we were. Oh. Interesting. Were we trying to bring him in instead of Alex Madison? To be the number 2?
I'll say that.
That would have been interesting. Or was it a world where it was going to be Madison and Monty? I genuinely don't know. Is that why we didn't make the Cook trade? Is because we didn't land Monty? And we didn't want to have to use a draft pick on a running back? I don't know. Let's see. Hunter Renfrow has been mentioned as a trade candidate.
Makes sense since they just brought in what's his nuts, Myers.
One of the teams that wants to trade for him allegedly is the New Orleans Saints. Carter Renfro again.
Poor Derek Carr, man. He's had so many players he's been friends with, and then they all leave or he leaves.
Yeah. Wow. Drew Rosenhaus said on the Pat McAfee show that the Carolina Panthers GM and coaches were in tears when they called DJ Moore to inform him of
I
the
heard
trade.
about that. Bears fans were going crazy saying Ryan Poles made another GM cry.
I don't think that was what exactly happened.
No, it wasn't. I like that though. I like when organizations give a shit about their players. That's wholesome.
Yeah, it really is.
I did see one video though that was like the audio was somebody crying, and then the video was a dude holding his phone up and just like throwing shit in a suitcase and running out the door. It was like DJ Moore when he got the call.
That's valid.
Which I wouldn't blame him. I'd want to get the fuck out of Carolina too. Come play on a real foosball team.
He's just happy he has a quarterback that reminds him of the best one he ever played with. They even wear the same number. Come on.
Who the fuck did he play with that I'm not thinking of? Was this a college
Cam!
thing?
Fuck!
I forgot there was overlap.
The running quarterback with a big arm that wears the number 1.
Listen, you said the best quarterback he's ever played with. My mind immediately went to Teddy, and then you said other number, and you threw me for a loop. Because I really thought this was going to be a fucking Teddy propaganda moment. I was like, oh my god.
No.
But then you said number 1. I was like, oh fuck.
Fields and Teddy are not similar at all.
I know they're not, but I really thought you were just trying to pull some shit with Teddy.
No.
It's you we're talking about.
It was Cam. My other favorite quarterback.
The guy who said he would come to Chicago and back up Fields.
Wait, what?
Did you not hear about that? He said he would. There's a bunch of teams he's open to going to, and one of them was Chicago. I mean, or more specifically, there were quarterbacks he was open to backing up.
I mean, if you didn't already have
I was going to say, it doesn't make sense for Chicago now.
No, but if you didn't already have Walker, I wouldn't hate it.
All right. I got his list if you want to hear it.
Sure. I'm intrigued.
Watson, Lamar, Fields, Tua, Malik, Stroud, Young, Richardson, Hurts, Rodgers, Josh Allen, and Sam Howell.
The last one's weird.
I think the last one is him thinking I can get a starting job if I'm backing up Sam Howell.
That's valid. That's I could honestly see that about a couple of the other guys he mentioned. Malik, dude. Come on. I know Cam is looking at how Malik played when he was on the field. Whoa. Sorry, there's a name trending that I haven't heard in a million years.
What is it?
Dexter McCluster is trending on Twitter.
Oh my. Oh no, I'm scared. Why is it trending?
Me too.
Oh.
Okay, it doesn't look like it's any problems. Arrowhead Addict, official something. Official Kansas City Chiefs fan site of the Fansided Network is posted a picture of him and said, "Name this chief."
Oh
I like that reply. Dexter McCluster walked so that Tyreek Hill could run.
Oh, thank
That's
God.
valid.
I really. Oh my God.
I got scared for a second. Yeah.
Because it's always one of three things, right? It's something like that where people are reminiscing.
It's either reminiscing,
shit,
they died,
or they
fucked up.
Right. Like, I can remember when Urlacher was trending a few summers ago, and I was like, oh, what happened to Urlacher? Oh, he's racist.
Tavares Jackson. That one hit me hard.
Yeah. Marion Barber.
Yeah.
Was it the Floyd, the receiver that they found in an apartment building? I think Malcolm Floyd.
No. Well, Vincent Jackson.
No, Vincent Jackson. That's who I was thinking of. You're right. No, that's exactly what I was thinking of. I had the wrong Chargers receiver.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, that's
Uh,
tough.
But the other rumor that matters that we should talk about before we wrap up, because everybody's reporting it again. The, the Niners are interested in Cuzzo.
Well, I mean, yeah, I would want a quarterback too if I had Brock Purdy.
Trey Lance, dog.
They apparently hate Trey Lance and don't want him to play.
I don't understand it. Dude's played 4 games and has played fine. We're not, and I don't want to count one of the 4 games because it was a monsoon and nobody looked good in that game except for Fields' feet. His Lamborghinis looked good.
Brisker.
Nobody looked good in that game, and I stand by it.
Jaquan Brisker.
But hey, if the Niners want to do a little Cuzzo for Lance deal, I'm down. That's all I'm saying. Bring the Minnesota kid home.
Is he from Minnesota?
Yes.
I did not know that.
Yes. Bring the Minnesota kid home.
Well, if that's the case, I hope Trey Lance is bad at football.
That's fucked up.
I'm sorry, I love Trey Lance, but I don't want the Vikings to be good.
You know what? I'm going to have to start rooting against Justin Fields.
No!
No, if you're going to be a dick all the time about the Vikings, when historically we are the worser franchise, which actually that's not true. I know the Bears have more total wins, but the Vikings are the more winning team.
More total wins, bigger impact on the league,
I don't
more
know if
Hall
I'd
of
say
Famers.
that.
Our founder literally founded the NFL.
Don't care. Cope.
We also invented the T formation, which, like every other formation, sprouted out of.
Don't care. All I can think
there would
of
not be a
is
National Football League without the Chicago Bears.
the Hall of Famers argument's some bullshit. The Bears have existed for 700 years, sucked for 685 of them. I don't want to hear it.
Still have them, baby. And that's not even counting like the ticky-tack 1 year guys, right? Like actual Bears that played for 5+ years in the Hall of Fame more than any other team.
I don't care. When you've had your team around for that long, you're bound to have some decent players.
Cope, skill issue, get better, go back in time and find the
win a higher percentage of your games, you fucking
stutter
loser.
During your comeback, it doesn't matter.
Oh God, I stutter all the time.
Stutter plus L plus ratio plus Cope.
At least my
plus
camera
YB
quality is higher than a potato, so.
I'm poor.
I don't want to hear that excuse. So am I.
Okay, Mr. I got to spend my what was it? COVID check on a setup. Not all of us had that luxury.
Yeah, because you weren't 18, so you didn't get a COVID check.
Exactly.
Deal with it. Get older, you fucking loser.
Yeah, well, you have glasses.
Dog, you're wearing glasses right now.
These aren't prescription, though. I don't have to wear them. I'm choosing to.
Uh-huh. Hey, I could go get LASIK. I'm just very afraid of lasers being in my eyes. Guess what?
Look at this fucking
I can
pussy.
do that
He's
too.
scared of lasers.
I can do that too.
Okay, I'm gonna put mine back on so you put yours back on.
Fuck. Okay, yeah, because I can't see shit.
Yeah, look at this guy scared of lasers.
Dude, okay, but all they have to do is fuck up a little and then I'm blind.
Skill issue. Get a better doctor.
If I'm already blind, getting a better doctor won't do anything.
Yeah, well, you won't be blind in the first place. Just find a better doctor to perform the
No,
LASIK.
it's just me being afraid because I'm unlucky as a motherfucker, so... I avoid things as much as I can. It's not a skill issue, it's just a the world hates me issue.
Skill issue to me. Cope.
Get
Welcome to the real word, bucko.
The real word, huh?
The real word, yep.
You stuttered during your comeback. L plus
I didn't
ratio
stutter,
plus
I
bozo.
mispronounced the word.
I don't give a fuck, shut up! I hate you!
Yeah, why be better? I don't even know what that means, by the
Me
way. I just hear
either.
the kids
I
saying it.
don't know if we should be saying things if we don't know what they mean.
I'm pretty sure it's referring to a rapper that goes by YB. God, I'm white.
Yeah.
That's like yesterday, when I was recording my mock with Jackson. I was like, how you doing, man? He was like, I'm doing good. I had a good weekend. I went to a concert this weekend. I was like, oh, cool. What concert did you go to? I went to the Yeet concert. I don't know who the fuck Yeet is. I don't know what a Yeet is.
That's not a concert. That's a word you yell when you throw things. God, I'm aging myself.
Yeah, apparently there's a rapper out there named Yeet. And I was told he's like the dude that like created a lot of the TikTok edit audios, so maybe I do actually know who he is, but I don't.
You know him,
I
but
feel
you don't know him.
so old. Right.
Dude, no. It's the fact that all these rappers that people like are not good.
Yeah,
They're
like
not.
Machine Gun Kelly.
I don't like him as a rapper. Nobody
I
likes him
know.
as a rapper. I don't know what you're talking about.
I think he liked himself as a rapper. Probably not. That's a lie.
No,
There's
he
a reason
definitely
he quit.
did. He tried to rap battle Eminem. He definitely thought he was
And then
him.
bro got buried.
He thought he was Himothy.
And then he got buried.
And then he became Himothy in an entirely different genre after he got ran out of rap by the GOAT.
Yeah. Thank you for calling him the GOAT. That's a W.
Dude, I'm basically a 90s kid. Of course I think Eminem's the GOAT. My top 5 would piss everybody off that listens to this show.
Ooh. Okay. I know we're supposed to be talking about football, but I'm intrigued. Who's your top 5?
Give me your top 5 rappers first, and then I'll give you mine.
All time? Like, okay, Here's my thing. In my opinion with rap, there's top 5 greatest, and then top 5, like, best, right? Like, greatest is more like accolades, achievements, how they influenced. Best is actual ability, quality of their music. So which are we talking here?
I don't know, because I don't have a dip. I got my top 5. I'm not
Okay.
I'm not that deep.
I don't know. I guess if I had to just pick 5 rappers that I would hold above everyone else, in no order: Eminem, Jay-Z, Method Man, Will Smith, and I stand by that. Yeah. Or I'm sorry, hold on. Let me take Jay-Z out. So, Eminem, Tupac, Biggie. Eminem, Tupac, Biggie, Will Smith, Method Man. That's my top 5.
Hey, our first 3 are right there. Will Smith is fucking wild. So
I stand by it.
I got M, Tupac, Biggie. Damn.
I'd like to throw out there as well, just while you're thinking, Jay-Z, Nas, and Childish Gambino are my next 3.
So Jay-Z and Nas are my next 2, but I'm also struggling because Andre from Outkast goes up there.
He's top 10.
Lil Wayne goes up there.
I don't like Lil Wayne personally.
I'm a big Wayne guy.
Not for me. I like him on features. I just can't. I don't like Wayne for a whole song personally.
All right.
Like nothing against the guy, just not my thing, not my taste.
Man, I know I'm forgetting people too is the problem.
I would also probably. I don't know who I would pick, but somebody from the Beastie Boys would be in my top 10. I don't know. I'd probably just say all 3 though, like as one, because I feel like you can't have one without the other with them.
That's valid.
Whereas like Wu-Tang, you can separate it because they all pretty much had solid solo careers.
Man, I hate this. I hate this so much. PFF, I hate you.
What did PFF say about rap?
Nothing. No. I'm just scrolling Twitter. There was a start bench cut, and it's Hawkinson, Mark Andrews, and George Kittle. Man, you ain't got to do TJ like that.
Yeah.
I mean, those are tight ends 2, 3, and 4. Depending on what you want to say about Kyle Pitts, I less high on Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, that's fair.
I have him at 5. I like tight ends who can block. The only reason Kelsey gets to stay at number 1 is because there's a gap in receiving ability with Kelsey and everybody. So, like,
Yeah.
okay. But dude
Okay,
can't
quit
block.
stalling. Finish out your top 5. Eminem,
No, I
Biggie,
did.
Tupac. Oh,
No,
who are your other 2?
Eminem, Tupac, Biggie. That is
Well,
very important.
My apologies. I'm just saying that the names, I didn't know you were putting them in specific order. Mine weren't in order.
Then I'm going Nas and Jay-Z.
How would that piss anybody off? That's like, I mean, this is the most respectful way possible. That is an incredibly safe top 5.
Well, because
It's a correct top 5. It's a correct top 5, but it's incredibly
because
safe.
it's too safe. People don't like that, and because
Fair.
everybody now says Eminem's not a top 20 rapper because you
That's
gotta
ridiculous.
hate M for no reason, even though there's not a lyricist on this planet that can match him. I don't know how many times he has to prove it.
Yeah.
There's
Also,
a
I'd like to put it
reason
out-
none of the other guys listed. Well, that's not fair. 2 of them didn't really get a chance, but none of the other guys listed have wanted the smoke.
Yeah. No, Jay-Z,
Nobody
I
tries,
mean, straight up,
except for the people who aren't that good.
Yeah. one of Jay-Z's best songs ever, he literally gets out-rapped by Eminem on in Renegade.
My favorite
They-
Jay-Z
they don't-
song is a little weird.
What is it?
Fuck. Hold on.
Mine's not weird, but it's not like his peak.
It's weird because it's a combination song. It's not.
Oh my god, it's one of the songs with Linkin Park, isn't it?
Yeah.
Those songs do go hard,
Those
though.
go
I
hard.
love them.
And you know me,
Which one
Linkin
is it?
Park is my Numb and Encore mixed together are incredible.
Thank
Collision
you. Okay.
Course is incredible. But yeah.
Yeah, see, my
But you
two
know me,
favorite
Linkin
Jay-Z
Park's
songs,
my favorite
Yeah.
band. So like eh.
my 2 favorite songs by Jay-Z are Encore and Izzo. Those are
Yeah.
by far. I also, never mind. I'm not even gonna try to say the title of that song and dance around what it's called because there's no way to do it. It's not the Paris one, but there's a different one
You know
that
what
also
will
has.
offend people?
Hmm.
Kanye is not in my
Oh.
top 30.
He doesn't like Kanye.
No, he's never made a good song.
I disagree with that heavily.
I don't know, but it's music. Taste is subjective. Deal with it.
Yeah.
I
No,
just
you're
don't
just
like.
a fucking moron and can't appreciate art. I'm also a 15-year-old boy who hates everybody.
Also, says the guy who thinks the Beatles are the worst band of all time.
I don't think they're the worst band of all time. I just think they're the most overrated band of all time.
You hate them. You wish they never
I
existed.
do hate them. I don't wish they never existed because their influence is important. But I wish people would stop acting like their music is the fucking gospel.
Valid.
What was I gonna say? I was gonna say I want to point out I prefer Biggie over Tupac.
Ooh. See,
Just want to put
why?
that out there.
Guess what the difference is? Where do you live?
What? East Coast, yeah.
Where? Technically, according to the weird way America works, where do I live?
West Coast, yeah.
Yep.
No, I mean it definitely, absolutely. Like I prefer Wu-Tang to NWA. I like Wu-Tang's the greatest rap group of all time.
No.
I'm sorry, you cannot put anything above the RZA, the Jizza, Old Dirty Bastard, Inspector Deck, Raekwon the Chef, You God, the Ghostface Killer, and the Method Man. You can't.
I am.
Who?
I can't
Who?
even. I can't bring myself to actually say it.
Migos?
No.
No. I don't think you're that stupid. Okay. Who?
D12.
Is that, are you being serious?
D12 because Eminem was.
No, I'm fully aware of what D12 is. Or
I just wanted to.
well, you were laughing through it. I couldn't tell if you were being serious or not.
I had to Google to make sure that was the right fucking name. That's why it
You
took me a
didn't
second
know the
to say.
name of D12?
No, I did. I just wanted. I don't like saying things when I'm not 100%
They're the
sure.
Dirty Dozen. They're D12.
But Good God, Twitter.
E12
Ugh.
does have some good songs though. Granted, it's because it's Eminem, but like Bizarre, Improof, and God, I can't remember
Oh,
anybody else's
fuck.
name.
I'm moving Jay-Z to 6.
For whom?
Tech 9.
Okay. I'm not as big on Tech Nine, but
I'm a big
you
Tech
seem like a
fan.
Tech Nine enjoyer.
I am. I'm a big Tech
Yeah.
guy.
No,
And
see,
I'm putting
I
Hobson
like.
at 7. Hobson's
Oh,
right
that's a
there
little
for me
rich for
too.
my taste. I
I'm
do
a
like
big
Hobson, but
Hobson
that's a little
guy.
rich for my taste.
I'm just a
Yeah.
Hobson's always been my guy. So
Yeah, see, I'm more into like the old school. Like I'd have Cool Mo D, Grandmaster Flash,
fair.
LL Cool J.
Also,
Gambino is like my big exception. Childish
honorable
Gambino, I
mentions
fucking love.
that are very important
Hmm.
because they're my boys. Emerson Corleone and Wednesday. Because I know them and they're incredible.
I was gonna say, with all due respect, whoever they are.
They're great. You should actually give them some listens, but I just
Perhaps.
know them. They've been on my podcast, so they deserve a shout out.
See,
So
one rapper that I like that would be considered somewhat controversial is Logic. He
I
is.
don't have anything against Logic.
I know, but he's corny. I don't mind corny though. Like I'm a fucking corny white
Every
dude.
rapper's corny, dog. That's not
I
true.
know, but
Most any
Logic is
new rapper is corny.
yeah. But in all fairness, like rap went through a cycle. Like it was corny at the start too. Like
Yeah.
Donald Glover, he has a bit in his
Go back
stand-up
and listen
special,
to
Weirdo.
Eminem's first fucking album. It's
Right.
corny as shit.
Well, no, go for even further back. Go
Yeah.
back to the beginning of hip hop. Like I said, Donald Glover has a bit in his stand up where he's like, old rappers were like, I went to the hat store and I bought myself a hat. Like he's right. That's what rap was in the fucking late 70s, early 80s. And
I
then
went to the cat store and I got myself a cat. God damn it.
yeah,
I'm
like
sorry.
that's like quite literally like what Curtis Blow and Grandmaster Flash were. They were corny ass dudes that were just having a good time. Shout out Curtis Blow though. Love Curtis Blow.
Don't forget the real greatest rapper alive.
Oh no.
I can't bring myself to do it. The doctor of thugonomics, John Cena. Too far
I've never
back
heard
for
him
you.
called that.
That was his second wrestling persona, technically.
I was gonna say I knew he rapped. I knew that was a thing, but I didn't know Doctor of Thugonomics.
The Doctor of Thugonomics. That was what the character was called.
I prefer Dr. Dre.
Nah.
Dr. Dre is one of the most underrated rappers ever.
See,
dude was
I don't love Dre as a rapper.
I do.
Top 3 producer though.
Oh, for sure. But as a rapper, like the big thing for me, right? You go back to the NWA days even. You know the song Express Yourself? Ever heard that?
Yes. Yes.
That's all. That was the whole point of that song. Was literally it starts out with they're like, Dre, you've been doing all this dope producing, but you haven't had a chance to tell him what time it is. So what you gonna do? And then kicks into Express Yourself. Great song, great song. That's my favorite NWA song. And then the stuff he did with Eminem, the stuff he did with like Exhibit, Snoop Dogg, Nothing But a G Thing is one of the best rap songs ever. Period.
Oh.
God, that sounds weird coming out of my mouth.
That's yeah. There's also another rapper I totally forgot about. Kendrick Lamar.
I'm not a big Kendrick guy.
I'm a big Kendrick guy.
Again, nothing against him.
Yeah.
It's just not for me.
Again,
like,
it's all a taste thing. It's subjective.
Right.
It's like
I like J. Cole more than I like Kendrick. Yeah, see, I would get shot for saying that. I like J. Cole because J. Cole
one to shoot you. I mean,
right? J. Cole dips back into like the old school. He thinks he's like the big brother of current rap, the link between Jay-Z and Lil Pump, quite literally. Like What song was it where he literally said? There was a song he made where he quite literally said that. I can't remember what it was.
All I know is we should wrap up because we're about to hit the 2-hour mark.
Yeah.
And we are not talking about. We haven't talked about sports in 20 minutes.
No, I got a tie back. Okay.
God damn it!
Shout out Jid. I love Jid because in one of his, and this isn't the only reason why I love him, but my favorite bar I think I've ever heard. He said, "Got that 40 on your side, boy, you Mike Allstott."
Valid.
Talking about Mike Allstott in a song. That's crazy.
Valid.
That's crazy. Mike Allstott bars, man.
Now we need Eminem to drop a song called "The Ham God," and it'll be great.
Actually, he would probably go with Jason Kabinda because he's a Detroit guy.
That's fair, actually. Fuck.
Hey, Eminem name dropped Dick Butkus.
Yeah.
In the song Legacy, he goes on a whole ramble where he compares himself to Brian Dawkins against the 0-16 Lions offense. And then he said, "'Cause you dicks butt kiss bunch of Brian Baldingers. I'm diabolical, you'll die a ball licker," I think is the exact line.
That is the most Eminem bar I've ever heard.
But yeah, he says, "All you dicks butt kiss."
So he referenced him, but kind of.
Well, no, it's a double entendre. That's Eminem's thing.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. All right.
Yeah, but he straight up called himself Weapon X. I thought that was cool.
I mean, valid.
Brian Dawkins against the whole 0-16 Lions offense. Sorry. I get on. I love Eminem.
He's great.
Mm-hmm.
He's the GOAT. We both seem racist every time we say that, though.
Yeah, he's a little bigoted.
Well, that's not why I was. No, okay.
I know what you're getting at, but I think Eminem transcends that. If I was sitting here telling you NF is the greatest rapper of all time, different.
Valid.
If I said Tom McDonald was the greatest rapper of all time, well, then you would probably shoot me.
Then you're just racist.
Right?
That's it.
There's no hinting at it. You just are. Yeah, but with Eminem, I think he transcends the.
Depends on who you talk to. But, I mean,
that's fair.
Look at the way other rappers talk about M.
Right, that's kind of my point.
That's all I got.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Yeah. Like, I can't remember the fucking moron who said Eminem it didn't belong in the house of hip hop or whatever. And then Eminem said he'd pull up, sit in the chair, kick his feet back, and take the remote from him. It was some fucking radio DJ. I can't remember who.
I don't know.
But like that. The only people who speak out against Eminem, like you said, are morons and bad rappers who want attention.
Yeah. And, like, good on them. Someday, maybe somebody calls out Eminem and wins in a battle. That'd be dope.
Eminem's going to be 73 and still bury motherfuckers.
Right. But, like, I don't know. It's the story. One day, maybe some idiot will beat him. It's not going to be an idiot like MGK.
Me.
I don't think that either. Not even close.
Listen, I'm just saying, everybody gangsta till I say I'll run through Eminem like he's linebacker and I'm Mike Allstott. No,
come up with your own fucking bars, you loser.
I have one saved. Okay.
Oh my god.
Miller football lore time. Okay. So I have really bad allergies, like really, really bad. Like, yeah. And my one buddy had 3 dogs and 4 cats at his house, and I stayed the night at his house, and my allergies straight up made me loopy. Like, I've never been drunk. I felt how I assume being drunk would feel like. And I wrote down a bar about a football player, and I gotta find it because it is rough. But this is what I'm gonna hit Eminem with. And it's like, have you ever seen that TikTok where the dude's like, "This is the move that made LeBron cry," and then he did some dumb shit? Yeah. This is the bar that'll make Eminem cry. It's something like, okay, I don't have it saved, but it was something to the effect of, "I called up your girl and we got frisky, now I'm gonna ball on your ass like my name Trubisky." Something to that effect.
That is the 4th time you have mentioned that on a podcast.
I know.
twice on mine, now on Run the North, and once on your own show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Plus the like
That's
12
the bar.
different Twitter posts.
That's the bar that'll make Eminem
Because
cry.
he thinks that's such a bar. It's like a 4 out of 10.
That's way higher score than I'd give it.
Nah, it's not that bad, but like, I mean, might make Lil Yachty cry.
Hey, respect Yachty.
No,
I like Lil Yachty.
you're wrong.
I mean, I like him for what he is. He's goofy.
Ah,
Like
he's not good at the
I'm not
music though, which is like the point.
I don't know. I like some. You're just mad he wrote a better song about Minnesota than you ever could.
He wrote a song about Minnesota.
He has a song called Minnesota.
Didn't know that. Gonna have to go
You never
listen
heard
to
the
that.
song? It's like, oh, like Minnesota. I'm not gonna do
I
that
don't think so.
because this is auto tune and high pitched.
The only Vikings reference I remember in a song, other than technically the one nobody really remembers, is that, but I do.
What?
Purple Rain.
What's that? Oh,
Prince is from Minneapolis, lived
Yes.
his entire life there.
yes.
So that actually plays after every Vikings game.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's dope. No, and then doesn't Lizzo have a song where she name drops the Minnesota Vikings?
Yeah, she said she was like hooking up with one of their linemen, or she could pull one of their linemen or something. And then that
Garrett
spawned a bunch of
Bradbury.
jokes. And then that's spawned a bunch of jokes that were like, she should be the lineman, and that's not nice.
No. Why we bully Lizzo?
I don't know, man. People were so
I mean,
mad
I'm
about
not
her
a big
being in
fan
Star
of her
Wars.
music. Kinda loved
I'm
that,
not either.
though.
No, she was awesome in Star Wars,
Her and
first
Jack
of all.
Black were fucking hilarious.
Right.
We gotta
First
stop.
of all.
Me and you can have this conversation. Thanks for watching the Run the North podcast. We'll be back next week. I don't know. Go follow us on socials. I don't know. Bye.